Hello, we are working on a yard machine today. This is Jason with Eastern Star Small Engine, old school mechanic. This particular snowblower has a Tecumseh engine on it. He came in, the recoil was hanging out, so we fixed that. But we're going after this carburetor. These Tecumseh carburetors, they can be pretty tough to get cleaned up. One of the things we are going to do is we're going to replace this primer line. So that primer line comes up to that primer bowl. I'm going to have to clean this carburetor up and see if we can get it to work. One of the things that on this cleanup is you notice this little cap right here. Okay, they from the manufacturer they put this cap on there, but if you get behind there with a little screwdriver, pull that off. Pull that off right there. It's just like a little piece of rubber. Now you can see that screw, okay? Now what that is a jet. That is not an adjustment needle, that is a jet. Okay, this is a fixed jet carburetor. Okay, it not only has a choke lever, but it also has a primer. So there's that little jet. You notice how green it is? That means we got some bad fuel in there that is set for a while. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna try to clean this up. Hopefully we get it to run. If not, we're gonna have to replace this carburetor. Okay, we got the carburetor bowl off this. And that is pretty yellow. That is a product of fuel that is laid there in the carburetor for too long. You see I got that little jet out there. Now this right here is the bolt that holds the bowl on, okay? And it usually has a number on the bottom, and that just tells you the metering of this particular bolt. If you notice right there on the side, a lot of people don't see that little bitty hole right there, okay? Okay, that has to be open and clean, okay? Then you got a hole in the middle and you can see some junk in there, okay? We're gonna clean that up. What I use is I've got a small little wire wheel here, and I'll grab a small little piece of wire out of there, and I'll pull that out with my pliers, and it makes a good little cleaner. You know, some people use like a torch tip cleaner, but you can, it would be fine, but I use these, works good. So I got to run this wire through those holes, and I'm going to use Pyrol carburetor cleaner. You know, you can use B12s too. B12 is a real good carburetor cleaner, but I use that. Seems to be working okay. So we're going to try to clean this up and clean that bowl up and see if we can get this thing to come to life. Hopefully the motor doesn't surge. That's a common problem with the Tecumseh motors. They'll surge. So we'll see what we can do. Okay, we're back on this snowblower. Like I say, we've removed that jet. We've sprayed carburetor cleaner down in there, blown that out with 120 pounds compressed air. Of course, and then your primer port right there. You want to clean that out. The old carburetor looks a little rough, but we'll see if we can't get it running. Something else is you see that hole. See there's a hole there toward the bottom. Okay, that goes into that fixed jet chamber. Okay, I've cleaned the float up, took it out, cleaned the needle up a little bit. You know, took a wire brush and cleaned off that float. Been working on this bowl. You see it's coming clean. And this bowl actually has a drain on it. What I use to clean these up with is I pick these little things up. You can pick up a pack of 3 of them. One's got a steel brush, and then like a nylon brush, and then a brass one. This is a steel one. I picked these up at Dollar General. They're like, I don't know, $2, something like that. But they work real good because they've got a spot on the end that you can get in there and you can do some cleaning with it. They work really good. So we're fixing to put this back together. We're gonna replace the primer bulb line, and we're gonna see if this thing will run here in just a few minutes. Bulb will put back on. Like I say, run that little piece of wire through that through this bolt on the bottom that holds the bowl on. It's going to be one through the very center, and then there's going to be one coming in from the side, and then you got a hole on each side of the bolt going sideways. You'll see it once you get it out. Something else is, notice that hole is still round, okay? And then there's a hole right there in the middle of that. You put that piece of wire in there, hold this up to the light so you can actually see, once you can see that wire, once it comes down through the top here, it'll come down through there and you can see it, okay? Now when you put this thing back in, be very careful. Like I say, it is a jet, it's not an adjustment needle, okay? So you put that back in, okay, you screw it in, okay? But when you go to tighten it down, don't crank on it, okay? Because you're gonna crush that jet. It doesn't have to be super tight, just snug it. It doesn't have to be super tight, okay? You're just gonna ruin it, and then you're gonna have trouble because you gotta find another jet. And so we'll put this primer line back on. I'm trying to save this guy from having to buy a new carburetor. So we're gonna put the fuel back to it, see if this thing will fire up. Back up. Of course, it's an electric start, also a rope start. Got the big handle, so usually you're wearing gloves. So, but we're gonna try this thing. Hit the primer. Let me show you how this primer works. It actually shoots fuel straight up inside of the Venturi. Okay, look real close. See if I can. Okay, you can see it right there. Okay, now we're gonna fire this up. Pull this off the kill. Okay, here we go. Not too bad for as rough as it looked. One thing I did notice, I couldn't get it to throttle up. When carburetors set for a long time, the varnish and the old fuel will hang up a throttle, and I noticed that. So I sprayed a little carburetor cleaner here at the top and then inside the Venturi to get that to loosen up. Looks like the choke seems to be working okay. We're gonna put all the pieces back on and give this customer a call. Probably change the oil on it, probably wouldn't be a bad idea. It's been sitting for a while. I mean, you don't have nearly the problem of the carburetor flooding because this pulls the fuel up, the intake goes up. But we're gonna go ahead and change it anyway, just so he'll be okay. We like to cover all of our bases and get it where they could use it when the time comes. Be sure to like and subscribe my channel, and we'll have more videos for you.